Today we're talking about something I wish every homeschool parent knew. There are really beneficial core musical skills your child can learn, even if they never take private music lessons. These skills aren't about becoming a performer. They're about becoming a more attentive, thoughtful, and deeply human person. And they're far easier to teach than you might think. First, the skill of attentive listening. We live in a world full of background sound. It's all around us, almost all the time. Often, music is playing without truly being heard. It's okay that we're often tuning things out. We really have to, or else we'd easily be overwhelmed with all the sensory input. But listening still matters, and one of the most important skills you can give your child is the ability to listen with intention. Attentive listening trains focus, patience, imagination, emotional awareness, pattern recognition, and even moral imagination. When your child listens deeply to a piece by Bach or Beethoven, they are experiencing the music and mining its riches. Not only that, but they are also practicing the same habits of mind they need for close reading, literary analysis, and writing. So, how can you encourage attentive listening? Pick one piece each week. Sit and listen together. It might be for just 3 minutes. After listening, ask simple questions of your child. What did you notice? What instruments did you hear? How did the music make you feel? Did it cause you to form a picture in your mind? Even though this practice doesn't teach your children to play an instrument, it's still important music education. Second, understanding musical vocabulary. Your child doesn't need to read sheet music to build musical literacy. Many important musical concepts can be taught to someone who doesn't read or play music. Every homeschool child can learn about melody, rhythm, dynamics or loudness and softness, tempo, which is the speed of the music, timbre, the unique sound an instrument makes, major and minor, form or patterns in the music. Just knowing these concepts, and eventually the words, helps children listen more intelligently. And suddenly music becomes less random, something they can unpack and understand. You can teach these concepts naturally as you listen together. A little vocabulary goes a long way. Third, the skill of musical taste. Musical taste is a skill, not an accident. It's similar to the introduction of food to a baby. You don't start with the easy to like, high reward, low nutrition foods like donuts and French fries. You help them develop a taste for the more complex and nourishing foods. With music, kids won't naturally choose what's best, most noble, or most beautiful unless they are provided with experiences that lead them in that direction. Classical education has always been about cultivating affections, helping our children to love what is lovely. When children regularly hear music that is creative, rich, and expressive, Bach, Mozart, Handel, Tchaikovsky, Shostakovich, the list could, of course, go on and on. They develop a deeper sense of beauty and expression that will influence the rest of their lives. Music can feed their imagination, and that is a gift. Fourth, the skill of musical storytelling. One of the most natural ways to teach music is through story. Every child loves stories, and every great composer has one. When your child knows Vivaldi taught violin at an orphanage for girls, Beethoven wrote masterpieces he couldn't hear, Dvorak found hope in African American spirituals, and Bach walked 250 miles to learn from another musician, then they begin to connect emotionally with the music itself. This skill, connecting story to sound, helps children build empathy, memory, and cultural literacy, and it makes music learning stick. Fifth, the skill of cultural awareness. Music is one of the great threads of any civilization. Helping your child understand where music comes from, monks chanting in stone cathedrals, Court composers writing for kings, romantic musicians wrestling with big ideas, tribal peoples using music for rights and community expression, gives them a stronger sense of history and empathy. It's about listening and asking, what was happening in the world when this was written? Why did the music sound like this? What were people expressing or hoping for? When children see music as part of the great conversation, they begin to understand it as something much bigger than entertainment. Sixth, and this is optional but wonderful, the skill of rhythm. Even if your kids never take music lessons, learning basic rhythm helps them in surprising ways, including reading fluency, math patterns, and even handwriting. A few simple rhythm exercises could include clapping to the beat of a song, clapping simple patterns like quarter, quarter, eighth notes, marching or skipping to a beat, tapping along with a drum track. All of this builds confidence and musical intuition and helps with brain development. And you can do it in 5 minutes a week. Plus, rhythm and dancing go hand in hand, and who could ever discount the benefits of dancing? Whether you're dancing out some frustration alone in your room or moving to the music at a celebration with friends and family, cultivating the connection between rhythm and movement has tremendous benefits. And finally, the skill of wonder. This is the heart of it all. Music cultivates wonder. It gives your children moments of awe, moments that shape the soul. When your child sits quietly and listens to a soaring violin melody or a powerful symphony, they encounter something bigger than themselves. That sense of wonder is one of the most important gifts you can give them, inspiring big new ways of thinking and feeling. Your child doesn't have to be a performer to benefit from music. They just need opportunities to listen deeply, think deeply, and experience the beauty of great music. If you'd like support in making music simple and meaningful in your homeschool this year, you'll find links below to a helpful free resource and to my one-semester MusicIQ curriculum for middle and high school students. I'd love for you to check those out. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time.